All right. I've got here Willard Malebear?
Malebear.
Malebear.
Yeah.
Malebear. Is that a real
Like-
last name?
It is. It's,
Wow.
I'm
Okay.
I'm a Hunkpapa Lakota.
Okay.
So I'm enrolled in Standing Rock. So yeah, it's Malebear.
Malebear.
Not like a delivering the mail bear, but like a male bear.
I love that.
Yeah,
That's
yeah.
a super. It's
Yeah.
such a unique last name that I had to ask if it was real or if it was like an artist name.
No, that's a real name.
Okay,
Yeah.
I love that. I love it. So Willard, I met you at the tattoo convention at Jackpot Junction, I believe.
Yep.
Yep. And I didn't get a chance to talk to you. You were cranking out some really cool work, and you were one of the artists that I was a little bit disappointed that I didn't get to talk to. So
Yeah.
What was that piece you were working on again there at Jackpot Junction?
It was a lady face.
Yeah, the blue was that the baby blue lady face?
Lady face on the thigh. Yeah.
Yeah. That one, did it win Best in Show?
No, it got Tattoo of the Day.
It got Tattoo of the Day.
Yeah.
I looked at that and I swear I was like, I don't know how any tattoo could beat that tattoo. Like
Yeah.
that was such a
I appreciate
amazingly amazing work. So
It was fun.
yeah. How'd you get started in all this, man? How long you been doing it? How'd you get started?
I got started 15 years ago through like a guy on Craigslist. Like, if you remember 15 years ago and you were trying to sell art, I don't think there was Etsy then, or at least I didn't know about Etsy, but I was selling like drawings and paintings and stuff on Craigslist. This guy just hit me up and he's like, hey, you got great pen work. Do you want to be a tattoo artist? And I was like skateboarding at the time, and I didn't, I started growing into this body, and this body wasn't made for skateboarding. You know what I mean? I can sure sit in a chair pretty good, but I was like, once I started acquiring this form, I was like trying to concentrate on doing art more. And this guy was just like, become a tattoo artist. And so he gave me an apprenticeship, and I was tattooing right away. That was 15 years ago.
15 years ago.
Yeah.
So where'd you do your apprenticeship at?
It's a place called Scarlet Harlot in Northeast Minneapolis.
Okay. And then to where you've come now, Ink Tomy Tattoo is the name of your shop. I got to hear from Donnie over there.
Yeah.
He's got a super cool story.
Yeah.
He's been through the ringer and is on the better end of it. That's super cool. But how did you get started with your shop?
So I got out of prison 5 years ago.
Okay, you got a prison story too. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
I don't think Donnie's got a prison story.
I don't know if he went to prison.
No. He just looks like he went to prison. Yeah, he just looks like he's been to prison. Yeah. Yeah, so I got out of prison almost 6 years ago, like 5.5 years ago.
How long were you in for?
Just 2.5 years.
Just 2.5 years.
Just 2.5 years.
Damn, okay.
I got homies that are still in there. You know what I mean? So just 2.5 years was enough to get comfortable, and you know what I mean? I got committed to sobriety. Yeah, so like that first 10 years of tattooing, like only 3 years of that was in a shop. The rest of it, I was your typical slime bag out there tattooing in hotels, addicted to meth, running around, wasting life away. And then went to prison, got out, and I was never gonna tattoo again. I was just gonna do graphic design and just be an artist, and I was committed to sobriety. But then my friend opened up a tattoo shop, and he's like, hey, I'll get you your apprentice hours if you want to tattoo again. And I was like, well, as long as I can be sober, you know what I mean, and kind of do my thing, because I was on intense supervised parole at that time. And my parole agents were like, yeah, do it, but, make sure that you're not fucking up, your sobriety or like your path you're on. So I started tattooing again, and sure enough, I fell in love with it all over again. And, it was so strange to me looking back that I wasn't going to tattoo, because I thought for sure if I tattooed, I was going to get drunk and I was going to start doing drugs again. And, I didn't think that there was like a healthy way into tattooing, but sure enough, here I am.
That's super cool, man. I love that. I love that, because I was telling him too that like if anyone who has a sobriety story, who has been through like forced to better themselves or forced to put something behind them, you come out of that like not necessarily always the best version of yourself, but a much better version of yourself. And like I can tell, like interviewing Justin Gugel and Donnie and you, like I can tell the genuineness and the kind of just the light that you guys bring to life again after kind of maybe that light wasn't always as bright for you, you know?
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. Yeah, I think it just makes me grateful and humble to still be alive and to be in the industry tattooing again in like a healthy way, and to be able to help other artists that are trying to be sober in the community and stuff like that.
Art. The thing is, art is really interesting though too, because I like to smoke weed or whatever. Like everyone, like there's certain creative aspects that, or at least maybe you tell yourself, you get creative inspiration from uh, smoking some weed, and all of a sudden I can draw better, or I can do this better. Like, was there a certain balance of that? Like he mentioned, he had to like almost relearn art again after like having a sober mindset. Like, did you find that you were inspired when you were doing drugs or not?
It was different.
Yeah.
Like I wasn't like a worse artist. I was just different. I was a different artist doing different kinds of art, and like all of it literally got left at trap houses or you know, storage units that later got repossessed or something. So like it was all still valuable art to me, and I think meaningful art. It was just different. And then when I got sober, I was able to like refine and concentrate on enhancing areas of my art instead of just being scrambled and just like cranking away, you know, paintings that were essentially sketches and then leaving them places. Like it was still cool, but I really became more professional and like focused on the craft and like making a better version of myself through art, being sober. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like there was a little phase there when I was like, am I even going to be able to draw again? You know what I mean? Because once I got sober in jail, and I'm like drawing with jailhouse pens, and I'm all like shaky and weird because I'm like kicking a, you know, 8-year meth habit. It was like, am I going to be able to like do this like sit down and draw sober thing? And yeah, the first one was a little sketchy, and the second one was better. And then like, you know, a couple of days into being committed to sobriety in county jail, I was like, oh shit, I can draw again. And sure enough, it was just like a light back on, and I was like, fuck, this is what I'm gonna do for the rest of my life, is just art.
And I think you maybe said, but when did Ink Tommy open?
So that was a year and a half ago. It'll be 2 years in September. Basically, my friend that owns a treatment center, she saw me tattooing in my friend's shop and was like, hey, if you wanted to open up your own space, I'll loan you the money to open it. I'll help you get a spot and all that. And at first I was like, no, you know, like I've only been sober tattooing now for like, you know, 2 years. I'm not sure if I'm ready. And, you know, some of my other peers in the industry were like, you know, as long as you're showing up in a good way, like do your thing. And so I was like, I took the risk, and, you know, she helped me open up a shop. And
And how many artists you got with you now?
There's 9 of us in the shop. Yeah.
Okay,
It's
and
a cool
that brings
vibe.
its own aspects, managing everybody. Obviously, you're willing to take a chance on other people who have similar stories.
Yeah.
I mean, that's super cool, right? Like,
Yeah. Most of us are sober. Like it's essentially a sober shop. I mean, like cannabis is totally chill. You know what I mean? We're not like, we're not police. You know what I mean?
We're not
But like as long as nobody is in there like fucked up, high, or sketching or exhibiting like using behavior, it's not a big deal. You know what I mean? And like you know, probably half of us work a 12-step program, go to AA or regular meetings.
So that's like such a good environment, healthy work environment for all you guys then. Kind of support each other.
It reduces the shop drama you normally run into, because nobody's like shitty, wasted, or like, you know what I mean, being hungover and crabby. Like we're all pretty baseline. You know what I mean?
Talking about this piece you're working on here, it's a sick bear. It's a man bear.
It is
it's a male bear.
I am assuming it's a male bear. It could be, who knows? I don't want to misgender this bear, but it looks pretty masculine. This is actually like my cousin through family.
Okay.
Maybe second cousin, removed cousin of some kind.
Cool.
Yeah, just he wanted a bear and was looking, you know, for something in my style, so just kind of threw it together.
And your style is just fucking badass or what? What's your
I
style?
like to do a little bit of everything.
Yeah.
But if I'm like given like preference to do what I want, I like doing some like black and gray realism with like some cool graffiti color pop, maybe some like sticky slimy shit. You know what I mean?
Yep.
Kind of thrown in with like different styles.
Yeah, yeah. I love that, like that lady face that you did at Jackpot Junction is such a good blend of like realism in the face to that traditional, like it was just a really cool piece. And
Yeah.
I can tell that like you're not just doing portraits, you're not just doing like traditional stuff. You definitely have like weird combinations that I just haven't seen, you know, but so
Cool.
yeah. Convention scenes, you big fan of convention scenes? You come to these a lot? How many times do you guys travel?
Luckily, we all at the shop, at least us like four, we really like doing conventions. I like making art with my friends, with my peers. So like tattooing and making tattoos with all these other people just reminds me of like sitting at a table and drawing with your friends, but we're all sitting around and tattooing together. There's like a fellowship community aspect to it. That is just great. You know what I mean? And I think like I've become more social in my sobriety, and I really like tattooing next to my new friends, my industry peers. Like I love Sam Norman. I love Athena.
Yeah.
I love Justin Nudell. Like all those people are just like people that I idolize and look up to, and it's just cool to be able to make art next to them.
Oh yeah, oh yeah. Well, thanks for chatting with me. I'll let you get back to work here, but I appreciate hearing your story. Really, really can't say enough about the good energies I get off of you and Donnie, and I can tell that it's reflective of the operation you run. So,
Thank you.
Thank you very much, man.